Welcome God of War fans! My name is Shayne Static, and in this God of War theory video, I will be discussing how will Odin die in God of War. Please leave a like if you did enjoy your time here, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any God of War content in the future. Here we go. Odin, the All-Father, the Lord of the Hanged, or as Mimir likes to call him,
barking mad.
How will Odin meet his end? Will it be Kratos that brings him down? Will it be our favorite boy Atreus that gets the job done? Or will it be an entirely new force that kills the king of the Aesir? Stay tuned until the end to find out. In Norse mythology, as I am sure that you know, Odin is involved in one of the greatest battles in the entire mythology, Ragnarok. During this great battle, Odin will be riding his 8-legged horse and child of Loki, Sleipnir, and wielding his favorite weapon, his spear, Gungnir. It is kinda odd to think of the king of the Aesir, the man most known for his knowledge and his mental strategies, could wind up in a battle that he will not survive. So how will Odin die in God of War? Let's get into it. Now first, let's start at the end of God of War. Baldur was just defeated and killed by Atreus and Kratos. Baldur was loved by everyone and everything in the Norse world, even the wildlife and the plants. He was extremely loved by his mother Freya and his father Odin. During our playthroughs, Kratos and Atreus, or Loki for that matter, killed Thor's sons Magni and Modi, Odin's grandkids. Odin, for sure, has his one eye out for Kratos and Atreus. And Odin is cunning. He is a master manipulator. In saying this, we are going to go off a theory that I have discussed in a prior video, which if you haven't seen it, check it out right here. But if you have, you know what I'm talking about, and thank you for your time and your support. So Odin is out for revenge, to get his hands on Kratos and Atreus. On one hand, he has revenge on his mind. As said before, Kratos and Atreus have killed 2 of his grandsons and his son Baldur. On the other hand, he wants to return to Jotunheim and potentially stop Ragnarok from happening to save his own skin. But to do this, he has to deal with Kratos and Atreus. He will get his hands on Atreus and fulfill his destiny as the trickster god Loki. This whole theory is in that other video that I was talking about, and it's up in the cards just in case you're interested. But Odin will not meet his end until Ragnarok. Odin, throughout the entire game of God of War, has been trying to stop Ragnarok from happening. But for what reason? I believe to save himself is the main reason, but that is neither here nor there. Mimir has told us in the past that he has even gone to lengths of capturing the 2 mighty wolves Skoll and Hati to try to prevent Ragnarok from happening as well. Skoll and Hati are descendants from Fenrir, also known as Hrafnir, as told from Mimir. Skoll and Hati are the 2 wolves that swallowed the sun and the moon respectively, sending the Norse world into darkness to begin Ragnarok. But Odin released Skoll and Hati on their chase to capture both the sun and the moon. Mimir explains this by saying the following.
Odin captured them as pups and kept them in the kennels of Asgard to hold his foe at bay. But when the sun and moon grew mutinous and stood still, Odin put Skoll and Hati to use. With his ancient magics, he cast the wolves to the heavens, and they began their chase. And long shall they chase, but not endlessly, for it is foretold that someday Skoll and Hati will catch and devour their prey. And that day shall be Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods.
But Ragnarok is supposed to be Odin's doom, isn't it? Why would he set the wolves loose if it fulfills the prophecy?
Precisely the question, lad. It's always about control. The wolves determine when Ragnarok begins, and now he controls the wolves. A battle fought on his timetable is a battle he better stands to win.
Makes you wonder if Odin really wants Ragnarok not to happen. But Shayne, why does this matter? This matters because Odin is destined to take on Fenrir during Ragnarok. Now let's transition to Norse mythology, because this is going to play a huge role in my theory. Fenrir, also known as Hrafnir, as said before, is a gigantic wolf that resides among the Aesir gods, and is also known as one of the greatest enemies of the Aesir. It's a little confusing, but hang in there, it'll make sense in a minute. Fenrir is the son of the god of mischief Loki and the giantess Angrboda, who is also the oldest of 3 siblings, which also includes Jormungandr and Hel or Hela. Fenrir would grow and grow until he became gigantic. Somewhere around here, he gave birth to 2 sons named Skull and Hati. The only thing that would rival Fenrir's size was his colossal strength. He became so big and strong that he started to scare and terrorize many of the gods in Asgard, as well as other beings throughout the 9 realms. The only person who actually befriended Fenrir was the Norse god of war Tyr. Odin, however, did not get along with Fenrir, and with the panic growing in Asgard and in the realms over Fenrir, he decided to act. Odin and a group of other gods decided to, quote-unquote, play a game with Fenrir, tying him down with all sorts of bindings such as ropes and chains. The gods, including Odin, would tell Fenrir it was a test of his strength, but in fact they, most of all Odin, wanted to restrain Fenrir. But no matter what they used to tie Fenrir down, he would always break free. The gods would all cheer for Fenrir, just so he wouldn't get suspicious of this game. Seeing that nothing would restrain Fenrir, the gods sent for help from the dwarves to ask to make a chain to bind Fenrir for good. The dwarves decided to help the Aesir, but also asked for, well, let's just say an interesting list of ingredients, such as the spit of a bird, the breath of a fish, the sound of a cat's footsteps, among other things. The dwarves from these ingredients fashioned the strongest chain ever built, also making it light and almost soft while holding it. Now, having the chain, the gods decided to play the game again. Seeing the chain and sensing something was up, Fenrir would not let the gods tie him down unless one of them put their hands in his mouth. The only Aesir god who was brave enough to do this was Tyr. Tyr placed his hand in Fenrir's mouth, knowing he very well might lose his hand, and the gods secured Fenrir with the chain. Fenrir soon figured out that it was a trick, and he ate Tyr's hand, his only friend's hand. The gods tied Fenrir to a boulder and placed a sword in his mouth vertically to hold it open. Fenrir, come the time of Ragnarok, will break his chains and run rampant across the realms to seek his revenge. Now that we know who Odin will face off against, here are my theories on the matter. I have exactly 2 theories because of the theories that line up with the others that I've created in the past, such as the one in the cards. Now, here we go on my first theory. My first theory goes a little something like this. Odin is going to face off against the mighty Fenrir. Fenrir, being the pet and loyal animal to Atreus, will fight for him. He will snap and hack at Odin. With his gigantic mouth, he would lunge at Odin. Try and try again, Odin will evade Fenrir. But not forever. Fenrir will eventually grab Odin with his mighty jowls. Try as he might, Odin will not survive. Odin will be then swallowed by Fenrir. Like I said, if this is a little off for you, you should watch my other video. Now for my second theory, and I like this one a little better. Atreus will be the one to square off against Odin, the All-Father. Atreus will be overpowered by Odin at first. Odin has many upon many years of experience between his warrior prowess and his Vanir magic. But with this theory that Atreus is Fenrir, then I think this will happen. They will stare each other down. They will lunge at each other. They will fight, and try as they might, they will not take each other down. Atreus unleashes his secret weapon, his shape-shifting ability. He will change into a giant wolf. Odin, being all-knowing, knows Atreus can shapeshift and is ready for him. Odin keeps Atreus at length with his spear Gungnir. Atreus then will back Odin into a corner in his wolf form and grab his spear. Odin is now defenseless. Odin will try to summon an all-powerful Vanir spell to help save him, but he is too late. Atreus then snatches Odin with his huge fangs. He will defeat and devour Odin. So what do you think of this theory? Do you agree, or do you have a theory all of your own? Leave it in the comments down below, and let's discuss it. You never know. Your theory could turn into a theory video if you are publicly subscribed to me. My name is Shayne Static. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.